Hi, Mohammed. Nice to see that you've submitted an essay to us. Let's take a look at what you wrote here. Okay. Children are playing computer games. Why is this negative or positive? Let's see what you said. It is true that these days, you don't need a comma here, so let's try it again. It is true that these days an increasing number of children choose to play video games rather than sports. While several factors are responsible for this trend, I believe that it is totally a negative development. Okay, fine. That's good, because here you say that there are several factors. So you're acknowledging that you're going to discuss the reasons, and then you tell us your position on this. So, good. All right, computer games industry. The computer games industry seems to be so profitable that most companies in this domain spend a sizable amount of money on advertising. When teenagers are exposed to the glamorous adverts of the most recent video games on various websites and TV channels, they may be tempted to buy and play them. As these teenagers start playing such games, they usually tend to speak about their experience with their peers. Obviously, this can encourage other students to play the same games as well, so group pressure could be another reason why virtual games can spread quickly among children. Okay. Fine. Let's move on. We'll talk about this as soon as we finish the entire essay. However, in my opinion, this trend entails negative consequences for children. Spending many hours on computer games would be better, will probably keep youngsters away from playing sports, as they usually have to choose one of these activities in their spare time. This would result in some health-related issues such as obesity and heart problems when they become adults. Moreover, playing video games can make teenagers isolated. The reason is that when playing these games, gamers usually do not have any interaction with other people. This may prevent them from learning some essential social skills like teamwork and negotiation. In conclusion, I think advertisements and group pressure are among the important causes of playing more video games, and I assume this phenomenon is a completely negative one. Okay, fine. I want to tell you what my concern was. This was fine. I didn't have a problem with this, but I did have a problem with this because you said that there were several factors. You said it right here. And I have to be honest with you. I didn't really see several. Yeah, I got the one about group pressure. I understood that. And I understood that, children were influenced by advertisements as well. But I don't think that that's necessarily several factors, okay? Could you have added more factors? Yeah, of course, there are tons of factors. But you might have wanted to rephrase this because it's a little misleading. Remember how important your thesis statement is, this statement where you basically tell the reader what he or she is going to read about in your essay. It's very important, so it should be as accurate as possible. You could have said here, while several factors are responsible for this trend, such as advertisements and peer pressure, I believe that it is totally a negative. Okay, so if you do it like that, this way it's obvious that you're just going to discuss those two, then that would have been a better way to do this. Now, another thing that you could have done here, which would have made this the structure of this essay even better, would be to provide an introductory sentence. Okay, how can I say this? I felt like you kind of went from the inside out, if that makes any sense. You started talking about companies that spend a lot of money on advertising because it's so popular, and then you started saying that these then influence children. So I felt like you kind of went at this kind of from the opposite direction. So what you could have done here is you could have said that there are numerous reasons why children are preferring computer games to sports. One of the most prominent reasons is the influence of advertisements. Okay, and then you could say computer games seem to be so profitable that companies in this domain spend a large amount of money, etc., etc., etc. So do you see what you're doing? You're basically setting up the situation so that you can explain why you think advertisement is such an important factor here. All right, so it starts off with like an introductory sentence, just saying what you're going to talk about. It's like a nice signpost telling the reader what he or she is going to read about in this paragraph. And then you say, you know, that one of the reasons that is so prominent is advertising, and then you can go into all of this. Okay, that's what I meant when I said I felt you kind of went from the inside out, or kind of like from the end forward. I hope that makes sense. I'm not really sure if I'm explaining it well. Okay, let's see. Okay, they usually have, you know what I would have liked here as well? I would have liked for you to tell me why they have to choose only one of these activities. What's the reason behind that? Because that would be a very interesting piece of information as well. They usually can choose only one. Let's see. I mean, maybe it's also because parents don't have time to take their children to sports, and so instead they say, you know, hey, just sit in front of your computer and play a game. So maybe you could have analyzed this, and then this is all fine when you then say that they're health-related issues. That's not a problem. And the isolated was good too. So I focus a little bit on the things that I thought needed a little work, but truth be told, the grammar and the language, the vocabulary, all of that is really lovely. It makes for nice reading, okay? It flows very nicely. So I didn't have any issues with that whatsoever. Like I said, it was just those things about the progression of your ideas and the structure, and maybe just adding a little bit more. So we're really looking into areas of task achievement and coherence and cohesion that just need a little extra structure, a little extra support, and a little extra development in order to get the band score that you probably deserve. So that's my feedback for this. I don't believe that you signed on to the course. I think you're still just doing single essays. Maybe you want to sign up for a pack of essays if you're not interested in the course. Take a look at those options, see what works for you. And if you choose to just send us more essays, well, then we're happy to see those too. Okay? Good luck.